Second one is this. A short while ago, a green dragon landed across the border in King Nidamir's mountains. I know what you're thinking. Impossible. Dragons are so rare. But it's true. Locals spotted it and went after it in search of treasure. Of course, they succeeded only in wounding the creature and angering it so righteously that it swooped down from its lair and set half a hillside ablaze.
Guzzling.
Now, the king is in a bind. He's set to marry the princess of his rival kingdom, Malior, which means it's bad timing to have a murderous pest lurking about in the mountains. He's commissioned a hunt to kill it. 4 teams have signed on. The winner gets the dragon treasure hoard, plus the title of lord over one of his new vassal states.
That is, if he survives.
What does this have to do with me?
I want you to join my team.
You've wasted your breath, Borch. I don't kill dragons. Take my advice. No treasure is worth dying for.
Depends on the treasure.
Hey, man. Free Phineas, man. Green dragon, huh? Green dragon. You're hunting for green dragons, man. Phineas was one of the last green dragons alive, matter of fact. They called him the Draco Rexes. Rexes? T-Rexes? Oh, just put some wings on a T-Rex, and you got the Draco Rexes, right? Acadian dragon. They say the nesting grounds are all up and down Connecticut, Rhode Island, Massachusetts, man. Look at that wingspan, man. Look at that. Man, 50 feet to 75 feet high, man. Before leaving on our expedition to see the Acadian green dragons in the wild, Conseil and I made a stop to see the country's most famous dragon in captivity, Phineas. Fort Tryon Park Zoo, Fort Tryon Park Zoo, Fort Tryon Park Zoo in Upper Manhattan is home to Phineas. Do you think this is play? A 140-year-old Acadian green dragon that has lived in New York for over a century. Oh yeah, it all started with this P.T. Barnum and Bailey Circus, huh? The Freak Show. 1857, P.T. Barnum acquired 4 Acadian green dragon hatchlings, baby dragons, which he placed in his American Museum in New York City. This damn museum burned down, my nigga. Alright? When the museum burned down in 1865, look it up. P.T. Barnum Museum burning down in 1865. My naga, this is off the SmithsonianMag.com. Hey, is it play? 150 years ago, a fire in P.T. Barnum's museum boiled 2 whales alive. Now, what you're going to hear in the real story is that these are not whales. These are dragons. They like to replace whales with dragons all the time. You know, Moby Dick, the whale, was originally the same white dragon in the Age of Dragons with Morgan Freeman, you know what I mean? Age of Dragons, look it up, you know what I mean? So the whale keeps getting, the dragon is replaced by the whale. This is how they play us, man. 2 whales boiled alive. Remember they're saying this, 2 whales boiled alive. And here's this depiction of this museum on fire. Now, was, you know what I'm saying, they mama trying to free him? Did the dragons try to free themselves? Either way, this whole damn building, they said, is one of the most spectacular fires they've ever seen in New York City. 1865, one of New York's most popular and morally questionable, which means it was a freak show. They had all kind of crazy shit up in this thing. This museum burned to the ground. Greg Young and Tom Myers, who wrote the history blog The Brewery Boys, recently recounted the fire that burned down Barnum's American Museum just over 150 years ago. Before teaming up with Anthony Bailey, showman P.T. Barnum had opened the American Museum at the corner of Broadway and Ann Street in 1841. Its collections included taxidermied animals, relics from the American Revolution, false artifacts like the skeleton of a mermaid, Why would they call them false artifacts? See how they like to play you in the media? False artifacts, like, who's proving it false? Why would you just say it's a false artifact? Or was it an actual mermaid? And if he had mermaids, did Barnum also have dragons? Did he have dragon hatchlings? Now check it. When the museum burned down in 1865, 2 of the small dragons were killed. What? 2 of the small dragons were killed. Hold up, man. 2 of the small dragons were killed? What did they just say in the Smithsonian? 150 years ago, a fire in P.T. Barnum's museum boiled 2 whales alive. 2 dragons were killed. 2 small dragons, 2 whales. Got 'em. Got 'em. When the museum burned down in 1865, 2 of the whales, right, 2 small dragons were killed. The remaining dragons were taken on tour with Barnum for over a decade on the P.T. Barnum Grand Traveling Museum and Menagerie. In 1888, Barnum donated 1 of the dragons to the London Zoo. Is it play? My Naga dragons are very real. And they were fighting for you. These are your guardians. They rock with the Naga. They were destroying the castles of the hijacks. They were just destroying all their shit. So they had to slay them, right? But it then quickly got sick and died in 1889. So the one, Phineas's brother or sister was sold to London Zoo, and they died in 1889. The last dragon, my Naga, the last dragon, right, was donated to the New York Zoo in 1891. Is it play? Upon Barnum's death, and named Phineas in honor of his benefactor. A beautiful Victorian dragon house was built for Phineas, and he quickly became the central attraction. By the 1960s, however, the New York Zoo, the Dragon's House, and Phineas, who had been living in a small, cramped concrete pit for over 70 years, were all in bad repair. In 1972, the newly formed World Dragon Fund used Phineas as their poster dragon to raise funds for the protection of dragons. Is it play? 1972? Was there something called a World Dragon Fund that they made for Phineas so that he can be in a bigger prison, to put him in a bigger jail? World Dragon Fund 1972? Uh-oh. That's all I put in Google. Templeton Dragon Fund, right? The World Dragon Fund. Templeton Dragon Fund, 1972. Templeton Dragon Fund, 1972, my Naga. I mean, what's this all about? You put it in. You think it's play? This is all about this enclosure for Phineas, the last great American dragon. Templeton Dragon Fund, my Nagas. This is what they use to build some super prison for this big ass dragon. Oh boy, I mean, it gets deep, man. It gets deep, man. Look at this, the Gold Dragon Index. What's that all about? How many dragons do they have in captivity? Because we know we're connected with this dragon fund, right? What does it say? In 1972, the newly formed World Dragon Fund used Phineas as their, let's get it right here, as their poster dragon to raise funds for the protection of dragons. Yeah, right. In 1978, the new dragon enclosure was built for Phineas, and his health and attendance at the park improved. Today, Phineas is the only great dragon alive in captivity in America. Man, now they got a National Dragon Preserve and all these code words, man. Now you go to this Fort Tryon, what do you see, man? Fort Tryon Park, man. Oh, damn, look what they did to Phineas, man. Hey, free Phineas, man. Free Phineas, man. Allow, wow, man. Free Phineas, man. Hey, it's about that time, my nigga. Let's pop off. Wow.